Every single month, I invest in my creativity, not just in terms of time and effort and actually, the making of the work, the practice of the work, the organising about where my shows are going to be shown next, and also trying to get work with others and obviously fulfilling those amazing projects. But also I invest financially. I have a series of saving pots that I have set up in various banks with different names, and I literally save sometimes tiny little bits in. But for me, financially investing in my creativity every month before I even start the month is something that it completely supports me, and also it really helps with my mindset on it as well, particularly at the moment when there's no gigs going on. So my name is Marisha Trembetska, and this is my Love Your Creativity and Make Money podcast. I hope you're well. I'm recording this on a Thursday morning, first Thursday in March 2021 in London. And my view is that, we all know we're just looking at this going, can this please stop? A few weeks ago, episode 31, I had a discussion about how I really budget for my month before it begins. At the beginning of every month, I look at what money comes in, what money goes out, what needs paying. And it forces me to make a plan if I've got less money coming in than I want it to. Obviously, in normal situations, if I start beginning of a month and I haven't got as much money coming in as I need, then I could very easily get extra gigs. Certainly before lockdown, I was gigging, easily 5 days a week without a problem. So the world has changed. And of course, all my normal gigs and my book things have really shifted. For the last, I want to say, decade, I have looked, not every month, sometimes I fail. I go, I've got loads of money coming in this month. I've got none. So maybe it might be worth having a listen back to that podcast if you're interested in how I do that. But when I do that budget, when I do that beginning of the month budget, I don't just say, here's money in, here's money out, I've got extra. I then apportion it into saving pots. Now, there's a light version you can do, which is have one saving pot called my art or whatever you want, right? I don't mind what you want to call it. And determine to put X amount of money in there a month. Because the truth is, whatever kind of artist you are, we all need some kind of budget. You might need budget for training, for courses. If you're going to make a film, then you need a film budget. Even, when I'm creating a show, then I put money every month away, because there's always something like venue fees. When I'm booking a venue, they often want a deposit, like on, ahead of ticket sales, etc. If I'm working with colleagues and people, I need to pay them. So the way I do it is I don't though just have I do actually have a future gigs. I do actually have a gigs pot where every month I put X amount. And at the moment, I've been putting money in, and at the moment it's literally like £30-40 a month. It's not an excessive amount, because at the moment I don't even know when I'm gigging. I'm looking at, am I going to try and do Edinburgh Fringe? I think 2021 is going to be a bit difficult to try and plan on productions. And do I want to go and set up a gig, travel somewhere, and then it gets cancelled at the last minute, or we've got some lockdown restrictions? I fund and finance my own creativity. Nobody else does in that prospect. In that aspect, obviously, if I'm working with other people's productions, it's their financial responsibility. So you could just have your kind of art creativity, but I've got a gigs pot. Every month I go, okay, I'm going to shove more. Now, some months if I know I've got a really big tour, when I knew I was going to Australia to do gigs and I was going to be living in Australia for 6 weeks, not having my normal income stream in the UK of my gigs there, and not knowing I wasn't going to get paid for ticket sales because I was gigging out there for 6 weeks, until weeks, possibly months later, and I had to pre-fund everything in Australia, from obviously my flight, all the stuff to do with venue, fringes. I had to live there for 6 weeks, eat and accommodation. That all had to be pre-funded. Or at least it did for me. I don't do that, and I don't do it on a wing and a prayer. I literally look at the costs, and then I had to save. So when I was saving to go to Australia, I knew I was flying out in early February 2019. Then I was literally looking at this, the September, before I'd broken down a budget of what the minimum it was going to cost me and started saving. I had to, you have to do things like buy your flight before you apply for your work permit. So, and obviously flight to Australia, not cheap from London. So sometimes the money going in every month on my gigs is huge. At the moment, I'm sticking £30-40 a month away because there's nothing to spend it on. And I know at some point I'm going to have to shift. What it does mean is that when I'm ready to go and go, yes, at least I've got a few £100 in there. It's not a lot, but I had more, but I moved it because it was just sitting there looking at me. But I also have saving pots like Future Tech. I literally have one called Future Tech. And every month I put money towards Future Tech, because I know at some point I'm going to want or need a new phone, an upgrade of a laptop. Obviously, with what I do, because I'm a musician, I use music and I've got synths and stuff in certainly my Queen show, then I need to be paying for. Sometimes I don't know what I need, but I do know there's always new tech needs. I don't have a whole lighting rig, but at some point that's probably going to have to happen in terms of the upgrade for my singing psychic game show. So I actually have a separate pot called Future Tech. And, I shove money in it every month. Sometimes it's more than others. And when I drain it down, so last year I needed a new phone, rather than getting into a contract, I literally raided my Future Tech and bought it cash. Cash is, queen, isn't it, really? You can you're not thinking, oh, what about the payment plan? I don't want to be doing that. I want to be going, oh, I've got the cash already saved for this. Obviously, when you buy a new, couple of grand computer, then it's far better if you save before, even if you've got save £500 one month and 500 the other month, etc., etc. It is not coming out of this month's budget. So you see how I work this. I also have, I go a little bit crazy, I also have got a dues and subscriptions pot. So every month put into a saving pot called dues and subscriptions, because we all know there's annual fees that come up to do with my creative work, which I'm like, it might be web hosting domains, my marishatrembetska.com website, my singingpsychic.tv website. There is even a loveyourcreativity.com website that I don't really use much anymore, because I first did a podcast back in 2013, Love Your Creativity, different one from this. But I've got a load of stuff on there, so it's pointless to get rid of it. But there's things that kind of, those kind of dues and subscriptions. I'm a member of certain organisations. I'm a member of Spotlight, which is a UK casting directory, that they just come in and they take, I think it's £156 a year, which obviously some months that's nothing to me. And some months I'm like, oh, it's a bit tight. That's okay, because I'm a freelance creative. But the truth is, if I've already got money in my dues and subscriptions pot, when things come out of my bank, I go, oh, yes, great. And I just move money out of my dues and subscriptions. So there's my process. And I've been waffling on about this now for 8 minutes. I could get very excited. The amount of friends of mine that I have, I'd like to say, taught or talked to about rather than lectured. But it stops me getting into financial debt. It stops me going, oh, goodness, I haven't got any money to pay that. Oh, I forgot this was coming out. When I normally do Edinburgh Fringe, I normally take 2 shows. I know there's venue fees. And if it's last minute, that's £800. Or if you're doing early bird, it's only £600 for 2 shows. Well, I've already saved this as I go in. I know, okay, I've got £800 to pay next month. I better put £400 away this month and not go and have any dinner this month. I'm really that focused on investing in my creativity, because then I'm not saying I can't do it because I haven't got the money. And sure, things come up that I know, oh, that's a great opportunity. Oh, I really want to do that. I don't. The point is, because I've got some money there waiting to go and ready, it just allows me some freedom, mental freedom. Oh, I've already saved that. So the light version is just have a pot of money that you just stick all artistic, everything money in, just shove a little bit in every month and then up it when you've got money coming out. And don't be afraid to take it out and spend it, but make sure you're not spending it on a drinks in a bar. Make sure you're spending it on your art. You can go my Marisha version, which is I have various pots with different names on. And I also use it to kind of set myself budgetary constraints almost as well. I tell you, it's really useful to do this when you've got a decent amount of regular income coming in. But when you've got no money coming in, it's even more important, because the truth is you're looking at the month, you've got a plan. All the research shows that if you have some kind of sense of control back, you're a lot less stressed. So even if you've got limited funds coming in this month, knowing you've got bills coming out later in the month, knowing that you've already started making a plan to tackle them, really helps mentally. So it's not just weird. I am super mathematical. I'm an ex-bond dealer. I have advised companies on systems on and or running their finances. This is how my brain works. You know, you need to be on a very personal level, feel, okay, I am an artiste, or however you're defining that. What am I going to do to support that? And having money in the bank ready to go. Let's go and do that course. Oh, that looks interesting. Oh, that looks like a really good show. If you've got money already saved to spend on it, you can do it without feeling guilty and thinking it's taking away from something else like that you need to spend it on. There is a further version of this, which is even more focused. And if you want to know a bit more about this, there's an American radio talk show host called Dave Ramsey, who has a book called The Total Money Makeover, which is great. And he also has a podcast, and people get out of debt and scream, I'm debt free. He's quite fabulous if you've never met him, because he's all about take control of your life financially. But in his Total Money Makeover, he doesn't just talk about having saving pots that I do, but he takes it to the point where you literally budget to the nth degree, everything, including how much money you're spending on food. Having a clothing budget belt, so you put money every month towards your clothing budget, because we all need clothes, or you and your family need clothes. Even if you're not needing it this month, at some point you're going to need something. He really drills down into that, and that how much you want to do that is to do with how you are. But I would suggest you at least have one saving pot, which is for artistry, and which also can include the research. I like separating them because that's how my brain works, but there we are. So I hope you have a great day. Keep on trucking. I actually yesterday had a quite amazing Zoom experience. I got to have a live chat with two footballers that if you're Italian or English, you'll have heard of them. But I don't know if you're American, you may not have. One is Gianfranco Zola, and the other one was Frank Lampard. I got to have a really great Zoom chat with them about their processes and being mentally fit. So I'm not going to... it was more of a private call, but I'm certainly going to share some of the wisdom in a few weeks. But that was it really inspired me that people are already really good. They just keep, they're like, keep on going, keep getting better, as all professional sportsmen of that level do. So keep on going, keep on focusing on where you can get better. Start saving your pots in your pots. Yeah, saving pots. And the thing is, banks now make it so much easier. All of them, every single bank will allow you to have little savings accounts you can name. So just do that. And you don't set separate bank accounts, and these kind of online banks do it as well. So go and see how you can get focused and start dreaming and putting plans into action, which generally means having a bit of finance. There we are. Have a great week. I will speak to you next Thursday. If you want to contact me, I'm on @MarishaT on Twitter, Instagram, Marisha Trembetsk on Facebook. If you want to book me as an actor, I am with Dulcie Houston at CCA Management in London. And if you want to book my singing psychic or my Queen shows, then, I guess have a look at my link tree above in the Instagram. You can see that. Contact me on @MarishaT. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Of yearning are times of such sweet pleasure. You have got me so enchanted, I even dream